Okay, I am back, and it is windy, and hopefully I've got my windproof microphone on. Had to get a new rig while I was out of town because the luggage on the airplane basically damaged it, so I may have to hold this because it's just too damn windy down here. So wow, what a bunch of erosion, eh? I mean, we got a full moon coming up in about 4 hours, and it's pretty savage. But I had to, relate a couple of things that just happened. I just got back from New Zealand, and boy, are they in a mess down there. A lot of people are considering dry fasting. I think they should. So if you're first time to my channel, let me talk about dry fasting here. Dry fasting is a really unique way to solve a lot of problems, health problems, time problems, because they wrote the Phoenix Protocol not necessarily for healing things, but for actually treating time. So let's talk about that for a couple of seconds. Wow. Do you see the cut? That used to be beach, not anymore. Anyway, so here's the deal. At any given moment, your cells are replacing themselves as they get damaged, and as they replace themselves, they have to unzip their telomeres. And you lose a few every time your cells do that. Between 30 and 50 times is about how many times your cells can reproduce themselves, depending on what tissue. For instance, the gut, every 3 days, 15,000 different divisions, whole different thing down there. But for the most part, you face a problem. Have you ever noticed how old people seem to be like broken, torn sails that can't catch the wind? That's because they've lost a lot of tissue. And they've lost it because of a paradox, the somatic paradox. This paradox is one that is determined by the fact that if you never dry fast, your stem cells stay asleep. Your stem cells could have replaced all those lost and broken cells, but because they're asleep, they die in the sleep too. So one of the things dry fasting does is after about a day or two, about 48 to 36 hours, pKa is turned down, a protein called Wnt protein started being activated, and some of them make your somatic cells sleep because you don't want them replicating like crazy while you're dry fasting in a regeneration phase. And they wake up your stem cells. They start getting active and replicating and regenerating tissue and stuff all over the body. They replace the damaged cells, and what's unique about these ones is they have telomerase. Your somatic cells die because without telomerase to recode the ends, the telomere ends, they just run out of gas and they die, or worse, they become senescent. Senescent is a really screwed up thing because these cells can't reproduce. They can't make cancers, but they start bloating up and pumping out all kinds of paracrine signals that end up affecting adjacent cells, like the bad apple in the barrel idea. And if that happens, then they make more senescent cells, which cause more cells to go senescent, and the thing falls down. That's where dry fasting comes in. Dry fasting turns on stem cell regeneration. With stem cell regeneration, you end up replacing the somatic cells with cells that have telomerase, with cells that can have a much longer lifespan and regeneration time. So you're sort of replacing your dead cells with immortal cells. I talk about it in A Philosophy of Time Travel, my new book, because in that book I talk about this extensively. All the other things you need to do for time travel. Because I don't care how short you expend your time on this planet, we're all time travelers. I wanted a much longer. There's an old saying, on a long enough timeline, everybody's survival rate drops to 0. So the trick is having a longer timeline. That's what I'm trying to give you with dry fasting. And the Philosophy of Time Travel talks about that. But the foundation of this is dry fasting. Because without the dry fasting replaces the somatic cells, one of the legs of the stool is missing. There's a few I talk about in the book, in the new book. But my suggestion is to go ahead and get the Phoenix Protocol and learn how to dry fast safely and effectively, because it's a way to solve a lot of problems. I talk about it on my Rumble channel. So that's the message today. If you want to live longer, live healthier, welcome to this channel. Start watching some of these videos and post because I answer all my posts. And I'll talk to you when you talk to me. If you have good ideas of what you want to know, let me know. But please subscribe, hit the like button, help those algorithms get this out to more people. And if you haven't noticed, I don't do commercials on my channel. I'm not trying to sell anybody else's stuff to get a few more, pennies for clicks. Hope we don't play that. Anyway, have a great day. I'm going to deal with this incredibly windy and savage beast called our ocean here. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care.